Here's a riddle. See if you can guess who am I? I speak without a mouth. I direct without hands. I can guide you by night as well as by day. And in every journey, I lead the way. Who am I or what am I?
A dog?
A dog speaks without a mouth. The first one was I speak without a mouth. And the second one was I direct you without hands.
That they woof 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 all the time.
GPS?
Yes! How did you guess?
Because like you said, without having a mouth, it can speak to you. Without telling you, it shows you the direction. So I thought no living being can do that. So it must be something that is non-living. So I thought about a GPS.
Brilliant. Nice deduction. All right, that's a nice segue into today's episode. But before that, good morning. You're listening to What's New Today, a podcast where we explore current events shaping our world through the eyes of younger minds. This is your host, Sangeeta, and in every episode, I'm joined by primary and middle schoolers who share their ideas and news stories. And in this episode, we speak about a news story relating to cars and countries. And to this end, I'm joined in this episode by
My name is Advik. I am in class 5B. I live in Chennai and my school is Balavidya Mandir.
Hello, I am Smyan Shetty. I currently live in California, USA. I am 10 years old.
Welcome back, Smyan and Advik. So, to our listeners, the two kids who joined me have no prior knowledge of what we're about to discuss. So, this episode is styled along the 20 questions game. I will give them the first few lines of the news story, and then they'll need to ask me questions, make a few intelligent guesses, and that's how they'll unravel the news story. All right, so here's the news story. The United States, the country where now Smyan has recently migrated to, it wants to get more electric cars on its roads because that would bring down fossil fuel emissions. Now, China makes a very large number of electric cars, and China has also succeeded in getting a lot of its people to use electric cars on China's roads. But the US has declared that if Americans want to import China's cars or the batteries that go into China's cars, they would have to pay a huge tax on it. Why do you think the US has done this?
I think it's because the US and China are fighting over Taiwan. Because they're enemies, they're fighting. China is fighting over Taiwan. US is helping Taiwan fight with China.
So like, is it cheaper and low quality the cars?
Good question. It's not lower quality, but it is definitely cheaper.
The American car brands want to improve electric cars. So do the Americas want their car brands to like upgrade into electric cars or something?
Yes, the Americans certainly want more of their car companies to make more electric cars. So they already have a company called Tesla. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
already
I was
make.
thinking the same thing.
So since the Chinese cars are cheaper, people will want to buy more Chinese cars than the American cars. They want to like
Impose more taxes
China
upon them, so no more people can buy it.
to reduce the number of people that buy Chinese cars.
Bingo, brilliant. You guys have solved today's news story. In an electric car, the battery is one of the largest cost components. So if China is able to make a battery which lasts longer and which costs lesser because it has managed some degree of innovation, shouldn't the entire world benefit from it?
Yeah.
Is imposing a tax on a an electric car imported by the US a good idea or a bad idea?
It's not.
It's not. All right.
It's not a good idea.
In the entire world, the country that has managed to genuinely reduce fossil fuel emissions on its roads because it wants to make its air cleaner is China. Today, if you visit China, half the cars on the roads of China are electric cars. Can you believe that?
No.
So, one of the things that China did was more than 14, 15 years ago, they decided that we need to reduce fossil fuel emissions. So, the rest of the world has been talking about it, but China has actually done something about it. They've gone ahead, they have supported their electric car industry. So, they gave them a lot of money, they supported innovation, they said, okay, we'll make it cheaper for y'all to manufacture. The idea was to get their roads cleaner, to get their cities cleaner. So the US now says it's because you gave a lot of money. That's why your cars have become cheaper, and that's not fair. What would you tell the US government?
Like, if you were so worried about this thing, why didn't you make electric cars too?
Cheaper.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. A fist in your face.
A fist in your face. It's absolutely right. And that is exactly what the American government is staring at. And they've been staring at this fist in their face from China now for a very long time. All right. It's been absolutely wonderful talking about geopolitics with both of you. But we have our quiz time. So we'll have 3 questions for our listeners. First question from Smyan.
So why does America want their people to pay a higher tax if they buy a Chinese car?
Chinese cars are cheaper.
And US wants to protect its own car industry.
100% correct.
Thank you, Smyan. Second question from Advik.
According to me, why does China have a grudge against the US?
So US is holding a grudge against China because China is planning to invade Taiwan by 2027.
Oh my God, Smyan even has the dates ready. I didn't know. Where did you get 2027 from, Smyan?
Like while doing preparation for this for the podcast, I was like watching few videos on YouTube, and they say on the news, like it was a news video, so they said that uh, China will get ready to invade Taiwan by around 2027.
Okay, just a word of caution. You do know that not all news stories have to have all of their information 100% right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, take them all with a pinch of salt. I don't really know if anybody in the world knows that 2027 is the year when China is going to invade Taiwan. The third and the last question. The steering wheel in the electric car is the most expensive part of the electric car. True or false?
False.
I think it's false.
The batteries are the most important and most costly part of the electric cars.
Wonderful. So before we wrap up, recommendations for our listeners. What is the one episode on What's New Today that you've enjoyed and would like to recommend to our listeners?
Especially like one of the far of season 1 episodes. Season 1, episode 8, I think.
This is why have prices in Yemen shot up, right?
Yeah. I also love some of the history things. Also, some of these Harry Potter book reviews and all.
You have a wide range of interests, Advik. Very surprising. You like geopolitics. And the most recent, of course, is our book review of the Harry Potter series. Wonderful. I'll leave links to all of these episodes in the show notes below. Smyan, your favorite ones?
It was part of the series Queens Who Ruled India. The first one about Keladi Chennamma, how she fought off the Mughal Empire and the Emperor Aurangzeb, and how he helped Raja Ram. Yeah, that was amazing.
Wow. I'm glad you really like the Queens Who Ruled India series. Yes, Kelari Channamma is definitely one of my favorite queens after I was doing my research on the various queen rulers, who've sat on the throne in India. I'll leave link to this also in the show notes below. But how did you like today's topic?
Amazing. I like talking about like this politics and stuff.
All right, on that note, we leave a question for all of our listeners. What do you think about the US imposing a tax on electric cars coming from China? Do you think it's a fair idea or it's unfair? If you are listening to this on YouTube or Spotify, you can leave your response. You're using comment section below. If you're listening to this on any other platform, you can drop me an email at hello@wsnt.in. That's it from us today. We'll be back with another episode. See you. Bye bye. Bye, Smyan. Bye, Advik.
Bye.
Bye, Auntie.